On a quiet farm, where the morning sun paints the grass in gold, lived a tiny kitten named Piper. Piper watched from the edges of a world she didn't quite belong to yet, listening to laughter she couldn't share. As the family left for the day, the farmhouse grew silent. Piper felt the weight of her own smallness in the vast world. She decided to explore. To someone so tiny, the farmyard was a jungle of towering blades of grass and mysterious shadows. She stumbled upon a massive silver bowl, filled with water that sparkled like a giant clear lake. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. A shadow, larger than any Piper had ever seen, loomed over her. It was Briggs. He was a mountain of shaggy fur and muscle, with paws as big as Piper's entire world. Piper arched her back, her fur standing on end, but Briggs didn't growl. Instead, he took a gentle, patient step back. It was a silent invitation. Briggs waited for the little one to take what she needed, showing a kindness that felt like home. Later, in the shadows of the old barn, a tiny field mouse scurried out to greet the newcomer. The mouse chittered a welcome, introducing Piper to the giant who had watched over the barn for years. Piper watched Briggs rest. His rhythmic breathing was a lullaby that made the vast barn feel like a sanctuary, but the peace was broken by a sudden crack of thunder. A fierce storm rolled in, turning the sky a bruised purple. Piper was trapped outside, huddled under a leaf as the cold rain began to pour down in heavy sheets. Then, through the gloom, a warm wall of fur appeared. Briggs hadn't forgotten his tiny friend. Under the protection of his massive heart, the cold faded. Piper finally felt safe, shielded from the roar of the world. As the sun returned, so did their laughter. Piper discovered that the biggest paws often belonged to the gentlest souls. They spent their days in play. Piper would chase Briggs's wagging tail, while he watched her with a patient, amused smile. But Briggs carried a sadness. He shared the story of a family that had once left him behind, long ago. Piper stayed close, her tiny purr a promise. "I will be your person. We are a family now." Weeks later, the sound of an engine broke the silence. A car arrived, and a little girl with a bright smile ran toward them. Briggs recognized her instantly. It was a reunion months in the making, filled with joyful barks and happy tears. Piper watched from the shadows, ready to leave. She thought their time together had come to an end, but Briggs wouldn't let her go, gently nudged the girl, showing her the tiny friend who had saved his heart. "Who's this?" the girl whispered. As she lifted Piper, the kitten felt a warmth she had only dreamed of. Family isn't always about where you start, it's about the ones who shield you from the storm and never let you go. On that quiet farm, a tiny kitten and a giant dog found exactly what they were looking for. They found home.